All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, when all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, B'char Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles at Great Millstone, who taught me His truth and who teach the correct doctrine of the scriptures. Okay. And I want to give a sincere shalom to elect out there teaching His truth in all honesty and sincerity in these last days. I'm the brother Yasharon, and this is a lesson pretty much about suffering and how it purifies you, man. Okay. You know, and yeah, it purifies you, man. So whenever the Lord puts you through something, you really gotta sit there and think. You may even have to pray on it about why the Lord is putting you through that. Okay, because we all war with different things, thoughts in our mind. Sometimes, we might have been misled on some information. We might have family issues. We might have financial issues. Okay, you might be vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. You might be going through infirmities. And sometimes those things can come in waves. Okay? It's like the scriptures say that, pretty much we go through bitter and sweet parts in this truth. Is in my mouth sweet as honey, but it made your belly bitter. Okay? And I just went through something like that. In fact, I'm still going through it. I went through a major illness or major ailment, and it kind of caught me spiritually off guard because lately my health has been very good. Okay, I dealt with health problems a few years ago, but I changed my diet around, started exercising, and I pretty much haven't had serious health problems since then. Maybe little things flare up, but I just went through a serious illness, man. And I really thought about this lesson. Like, what is the Lord trying to tell me? Why is He doing this to me? Okay. And how can I grow from this and heal and move on, man? Because all kinds of things go on through your mind when you're going through suffering, especially an ailment. There's all kinds of things that you want to do, but the flesh doesn't allow you to do. Like the scriptures say that the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay, but every brother goes through different things, man. Okay, some brothers got distraction demons on them, lust demons. You name it. Okay, we're not going to get into specifics here. Okay, but this is Sirach, the second chapter, and the first verse. So hopefully this lesson is edifying for you brothers and sisters out there. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, because all kinds of things are going to come on you, man. Come upon you. Okay? Once you cross that line, talk primarily to you brothers in the ministry, and I always think about you young brothers when I have when I come to put these lessons together in my mind. Okay, if I choose to jot down a few scriptures, for the most part, this lesson's going with the Spirit, and this was the first scripture that came to mind, man. Sirach 2. We used to bring this out almost every week at camp. Okay, And let me ask you this: which camp out there, or group out there, Israelite group out there, are the ones that are pushing you, or ones that are teaching you or preparing you to go through suffering? Okay, they're not. These other camps, they're not in that spirit, man. Okay, he that increases knowledge increases sorrow, and that makes total sense when you look at what these other camps push out there. Okay, like it says in Peter, if you've suffered in the flesh, you've ceased from sin, because suffering uh, humbles you, and it makes you want to get right, man. It makes you think twice. Like, oh man, look at this hell that I'm going through. I don't want to go through this again. But here it is. You have these these other Israelite leaders that want to say that we're going to be here another 20, 30 fucking years, man. All right? I'm going to be an old, decrepit man by the time I get delivered out of here, according to Mr. Nate. Okay? If I'm even alive then. You know? Some of you brothers going to have fucking 20 grandkids by, by the time your old ass gets delivered, man. Suck, let me sit up a little bit. I tend to cough a little less when I sit up more. But yeah, man, what I went through, man, I don't think man, I really thought about my past, and I don't think I ever been that sick, man. I thought the Lord was going to take the spirit from me for a couple days there. It's going on day 9. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm just saying, the Lord can take you when you're in a good state of feeling good and just totally throw you a curveball, man. The Lord could throw you a curveball with your living situation or something, man. You know, the Lord can throw a wrench in your plans in terms of your relationship with your woman, your children. Okay, and that could happen at any time when you least expect it. Now, am I saying that you should be a paranoid little fuck and wait for it? No, because that's not how uh, a general thinks, or not a general. I don't want to use that term. A man with a ruling class mentality doesn't think like that, man. They keep it in mind, and when it comes around, they deal with it, right? But this is verse 2. Verse 2. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Okay? And that's especially true as uh, we move forward towards this MOTB system. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Okay? Especially when the Lord is bringing you through the fire, man, your mind should be on Him. Okay? Because sometimes you're being chastened, and sometimes you might have fucked up and honestly deserved it. Okay? And you may not know at the time, but eventually the Lord will reveal it to you why He put you through something. Okay? Believe in Him, and He will help thee. Because that's really what a lot of the scriptures and Psalms and so on and so forth. Okay, when you read those scriptures, especially Psalms 18 and so on and so forth, the Lord really just wants us to put our trust in Him and lean on Him. Okay? because we're going to be saved through faith. That's how we're going to be saved. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not aside, lest ye fall. Because the Lord will always, if you're of the elect, that is, not tempt you beyond that which ye are able. Okay? He'll always provide a way to escape. So you could escape through the things of the world, or you could escape through the Spirit. Okay? Slacky, let me get some water. This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as common to man. Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation. Okay, so the Lord will not tempt you above that which ye are able, man. Okay? So if your mind is gearing up towards the flesh as a way to escape your tribulations, okay, then you're clearly going off, man. You know, I notice a lot of brothers, they have that crutch that they had in the world, right? And when they go through some shit, you know, instead of just dealing with it and purging themselves, and being a man about shit, they run to their little crutches. Like it might be, whenever they go through hell, they start developing a drinking problem. Okay, to deal with it, you know. And there ain't nothing wrong with having a couple drinks to chill the hell out, you know. But you can't be dependent on that to get you through what we're going through all the time. Okay, that's a weakness. And they may sit around and play video games and fuck around, or watch binge watch uh, whatever comforts them, you know, or sit there and escape reality and go on social media or watch their podcasts or whatever. And I ain't saying that brothers, you know, shouldn't entertain themselves, but when it turns into a dependency, okay, that means you're walking away from the Lord in a sense. Okay, just like we said, we read it in Sirach, man. We're supposed to put our cares upon him, man. We're supposed to pretty much lean on him. Okay, we can't just keep getting weak all the time and looking for outlets in this flesh to get through our situations. Here it is. You got guys that'll bitch that they're broke all the time, and then they'll find these outlets, okay, to deal with the depression of being broke all the time. Yet the Lord will find a way for them to fucking make money in their spare time, and they'll totally disregard it. Okay, so when the Lord gives you opportunities, you know, and I'm just saying things, right? I'm just saying things. I'm just putting things out there. There's a million different situations that could arise in every brother's life, man. Okay. Well, when the Lord, but when it's obvious that the Lord gives you an opportunity to jump on something, man, you need to jump on it. Okay, you could be having a certain ailment, and the Lord could just put an herb in your life right there. Okay, you know, the you go get some food, deal with an ailment, because really food is supposed to be your medicine, and they accidentally pile on some extra cilantro, and you're like, man, I don't want this food with cilantro. Well, too bad, man. There was the Lord topping you up with some free cilantro, man, or something like that, man. You know, or you may have some extra herbs or whatever at your house, maybe some extra lemons that you ain't touched, but they're still good. Hey, man, that's the Lord putting you in position. Okay, wanted to see if you're using wisdom, man. But anyways, First Corinthians 10:13, there hath no temptation taken you, but such is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear. Okay, and that's why when you look at a lot of the examples in the scriptures, okay, when you look at a lot of the examples in the scriptures, right? Uh, there were a lot of men, ancient men, that went through some serious shit. Okay, a lot of the prophets went through some serious shit, man. That I know a lot of us, or damn near all of us, ain't going through. All right, this is 2 Corinthians 4:17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Okay, so this is just a light affliction, but and it's for a moment. Okay, this is for a moment, man. You know, our concept of time here in this flesh is nothing. All right, when we receive those spiritual bodies, we'll have a better understanding of that. All right, and that's part of being kingdom minded, man. Is having that vision. Okay, but the point is that the Lord is gonna chastise us, man. There's all kinds of scriptures talk about how we're gonna get chastised. So if the scriptures keep repeating the same thing, then why are you acting all strange if you're going through something? This is Hebrews 12:6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. Okay? If ye endure chastening, that chastening comes in all different kinds of forms. Okay? Yahweh will deal with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? Okay? And the chastisement is set for learning and for correction. We'll jump to 11. Now, no chastening for this present seemeth to be joyous, and it's gonna suck. And I know what the scriptures tell us to take it cheerfully, right? But at the end of the day, you know, it, it is what it is. We're still in this flesh, man. You know, we're still going through something. We still have to fight through it. Okay, and there's gonna be ups and there's gonna be downs. But grievous, nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Okay, we're gonna get oh what's that scripture? Give me 1 second. it's gotta be. It's gotta be in Proverbs. Mm. Proverbs 3:11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. Because sometimes all this hell, can wear you out. But the important thing is that even if at times physically you may be worn out, mentally you should still be strong. Okay? You know, your mindset should be that of a fucking winner, man. All right, a winner, not a whiner. A winner looks at loss differently. Okay, a winner looks at setbacks differently and how they can overcome and improve. Okay, if a football team or baseball or basketball, whatever sport, if they get deep into the playoffs and they lose, but the game's close, and they know that there's certain aspects of their game that they can improve on. A real winner and a champion will work on those aspects of their game during the off season. Okay, like one of the things that made Michael Jordan so great and those Bulls teams was the fact that them Pistons whooped their ass. I mean, they beat them guys up, you know, but they had a champion's mind, man. And they continued not just to work on their individual, but but as a team, man, they were getting pushed around because of them '80s Pistons. They were a real physical team. Okay, and they're beating them Bulls up in them playoff games. So they started lifting weights together. They started doing things as like a team or like a family unit. You know, Jordan started working real hard on his defense because he saw that was a weak point. And you see that in a lot of great athletes, man. They'll take a loss to heart, and then they'll become obsessed, and they'll work on being the best uh, player that they can be going forward, man. They'll let it eat at them. Like if their weakness is doing if their weakness is a physical thing, they'll focus on getting stronger. Okay, if their weakness is studying film or whatever, they'll work on the mental aspects of the game. Slack your brothers. Someone cutting grass right on the side of my house. But yeah, we can't be weary of those corrections. All right, we can't be weary of those corrections. We have to take those things that we're going through and work on improving ourselves. Okay, especially through the spirit, man, through knowledge. Working on our weak points. And the Lord has been giving us a lot of different tools. Okay, the Lord has been giving us a lot of different tools to increase in learning, speed up our learning, to get deeper into things, like these AI things. Okay, but let me think a couple more scriptures. Give me 1 second, bro. Bear with me. Bear with me still. Focus shot. I had to go on the uh, computer real quick. This is James 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Okay? So all throughout the scriptures, you see um, the same thing being said over and over and over about how enduring temptation is a blessing. Okay? And how we're going to go through these trials. Okay? So this comes with the territory, man. It's not about, sometimes it's not about escaping the hell. It's about how to deal with the hell, man, and how to grow from it. Okay? Just like the scriptures tell us, I believe it's First Peter, 4th chapter, and the 12th verse, that not to think that it's strange concerning our trials. Okay? But I believe that's pretty much it for now. But till next time, Lord willing, y'all were edified. Shalom.